So, President Xi's initiative is on the right point for the China's sustained growth.
The growth path that China is embarking now will allow it to improve the quality of its growth to more sustainable levels.
Yes, if we look at the historical evidence of the economic growth across economies before China's fast growth, certainly the supply side is very important for long-term growth. So President Xi's initiative is on the right point for the China's sustained growth.
The Chinese consumers themselves, they prefer to buy clothes made in Europe, for instance, than clothes made in China. But China is the largest factory of clothes in the world. So why is this? And it may have to do with the fact that, again, quality-wise, there is a need for improvements. There's a need for more investment in that respect, rather than quantity, as it was in the past. That's part of, again, of climbing up the value chain in production, so that China, again, can compete with those world brands at the same level. Looking through the 13th five-year plan, I think that there's some elements there that are directed, again, in that same to that objective. And so I'm also optimistic in that sense. I think that you said it, China has a very large market, a growing market. That market is of great interest to foreign competitors. And again, the competition is what should drive China's upgrading and a better participation of China's brands in the global market.
Now the thing is that Chinese growth had depended on exports, but the export markets in Western economies are slowing down, and therefore there's a rethink about whether this mix of these three drivers should be rebalanced. Of course, when President Xi Jinping came and the new policy and the 13th five-year plan, they all contemplate to rebalance the economy, or they call harmonious society. So rebalancing means increasing the share of consumption, increasing the importance of domestic markets, and decreasing the importance of investment spending, and decreasing the dependence on exports alone. The role of innovation, of course, as a growth driver comes from the supply side. So consumption plus investment plus exports, this is the demand side of the picture, the aggregate demand. If you look at economic growth from a structural or supply side, it is a consequence of innovations, productivity, technological change, and all that.
China grew rapidly during the last more than 2 decades now almost, and its growth rate has slowed down. But I think China is adjusting by its own policy decision. The growth path that China is embarking now will allow it to improve the quality of its growth to more sustainable levels. And I do believe that this, quote, new normal that one is talking about will also take China continue its march towards further improvement in the living standards of the people, better quality of life, and more sustainable, I think, is a more important factor in my mind.